Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Outer Banks, in particular the theories and predictions that are going to be happening in Season 3. So stay tuned, watch this video and see what you think of what I've got to say, and leave down in the comments of what you think are some theories and predictions of your own. So let's get straight into the video. Alright, let's start with everyone's favourite character, John B. Now, as we saw in the last episode of Season 2 of Outer Banks, we saw John B's dad. That was a big eye-opener for all of us watching Outer Banks 2. And I reckon he is going to be seeing his dad in this season coming up. How that will happen is yet to be determined. Another theory that I had with John B is that we might actually see his mum. They never really go into much detail of John B's mum, so leave down in the comments, do you think John B's mum will come into the picture in Outer Banks Season 3 or any season going forward at all? Alright, let's now go on to Sarah. So, what are the theories and predictions that I have for Sarah? I've got another 2 predictions for Sarah. 1, she's going to have to kill her dad. Due to everything that's gone on with Season 1 and 2, she is now fully aware of the type of person her dad is. Her dad even tried, spoiler alert, tried to kill her in Season 2 when they were on the shipping, on the big boat with the shipping containers. My other prediction or theory that I had with Sarah was maybe we see her mum for the first time or find out a little bit more information about her mother, because obviously we know Rose is actually their stepmom and we don't really know too much about Sarah's mum either. So that's her. Alright, let's move on to Pope. I've got 3 here for Pope. Number 1, Pope and Cleo get together. There's been a little bit of stuff going on with them that we've seen in Season 2, and I think not just myself, but a lot of people who have watched Outer Banks have got a theory that those two might end up getting together. Number 2, Pope ends up getting the cross. Now, obviously we know that cross that goes way back to his ancestors. So, do you think he's going to end up getting the cross? Number 3, now obviously when we found the cross, there was meant to be this magic healing that was inside the cross. And Carla opened the cross and obviously there was nothing inside. Is Pope's grandmother potentially going to have it? I found another theory that some people have been having is that the scarf that John B has is actually the healing, because if you think about it, it's a very interesting theory that some people have had, is how did John B survive that massive fall, and how has he survived the crocodile encounter in Season 2, and like how did his leg heal so quickly, and how did even Sarah come back to life? Because Sarah and John had a part of that bandana. What is your thoughts on that theory? Alright, let's move on to Kiara. I have 2 quick theories for her. Number 1, she ends up getting in a relationship with JJ. And number 2, the parents try to force her to go to this boarding school, but however she is not about it at all, and she ends up potentially running away or gets sent to it and then runs away from when she's there. I reckon there might be something around that. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Now let's move on to JJ. Going from what I just said with Kiara, JJ might get in a relationship with Kiara. And the other one is JJ's dad. Now obviously, we've seen him get on a boat and travel away, which he claims is for good, and so did JJ. However, there's a small possibility that he returns to Season 3. What's your thoughts? Now, let's move on to Ward Cameron. I didn't have too much theories for him, however, I'm thinking he is going to meet up with John B's dad. Now, this is going to be very interesting if those two come into contact with each other in Season 3, as Ward potentially thinks that he is the one that killed John B's dad. Now, the only thing is, that story that we got when they were on the boat and Ward pushed John B's dad, and hit the back of his head. That's Ward's story. Now, do we actually know that that is the real story? We've been told that that is the story, but that has came from Ward. Let's move on to Rose. I believe Rose is going to become a very significant character in Season 3. In Season 1, she wasn't very much in the picture at all. Season 2, she is very started to come to the front of the show and become a real character. So now in Season 3, I think she's just going to become even more pushed into the light. The other theory that I had with Rose is that she is going to choose wealth over family. And what I mean with that is she's going to pick either the gold or the cross, and she's going to run away with it to leave all of her family behind. Because she is actually a stepmother. So there is that. And she has been known to not really want to support like her own children like Rafe. Now, let's move on to Rafe. I've got one with him. He is going to turn on his family. The other one that I was thinking as well, he potentially might go to jail. Alright, now we're going to look at Topper. I've got two for Topper here, and they're very, very extremely different. Number one is Topper potentially might die, even go as far as commit suicide based on all the past events that has taken place and his very deep love for Sarah that he just can't seem to grasp that if it's there or if it's not there. And it's very confusing with Sarah as well, going back and forth from John B and Topper. The other one that I have is Topper will actually join the crew. Now, that one would be very interesting, how they're going to get John B and Topper to make amends and become good friends, and for Topper to become friends with all of the crew as well. Now, let's move on to John B's dad. I've got another two for him. First of all, John B's dad is going to meet up with John B himself. We don't know where this is going to happen and what this exchange is going to be like. And the other one is John B actually stays dead. Now, what that means is like he doesn't actually bring himself into John B's life. I don't think this is a very high possibility that it'll happen, but what's your thoughts on that theory? Now let's move on to Carla, or otherwise known as the old sick lady. I really don't have too much on her besides, could she potentially be one of the crew's mothers like John B, or potentially JJ's mum? We're probably more looking towards maybe John B's mum, as John B is probably the more main character of the film Outer Banks. Not to say that the others aren't, but we also see at the end of Season 2, Carla goes and sees John B's dad. Is this showing anything? What is this saying? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And lastly, let's go on to Wheezy, the youngest child of the Cameron family. I've got a couple on her. One, she may die. The thing is, this series is based on a lot of intense moments, and we actually haven't really had too many of the main characters pass away. So I feel as though it's inevitable that a big, what do you want to call it, event occurs, like a death. I know it won't be good, but we sort of need to get it spiced up a bit in Season 3 here. Even though this last two seasons have been absolutely great, I might see a death coming soon. The other one is not as gruesome, and it's just she escapes her family, whether or not that be just on her own accord, or she joins the crew as well and runs away with Sarah and the rest of the crew. I hope you've enjoyed all these theories and predictions of Outer Banks Season 3. Leave you in the comments down below of what you think some of the theories may be, and check out my other previous videos. Make sure to smack that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you in the next one.